What's up guys, Shane Starnes with Droid Modder X here. Apple just announced the iPhone 6s. The pre-release starts tonight at midnight and it will probably sell out within just a few minutes. There's no doubt that the iPhone is probably one of the most popular series of phones ever, but is the new iPhone 6s worthy of an upgrade? These are my 5 major problems with the iPhone 6s. My first major problem with the iPhone 6s is the one that you've already heard a lot about. It's the fact that Apple is basically forcing you to pay an extra $100 for a usable device. Now, for whatever reason, Apple decided to release the base model iPhone 6s at 16 gigabytes, and this is pretty much good for nothing. For an extra $100, you can actually get a 64 gigabyte model, which should be plenty for the average user. Now, you'd think with 4K video recording and the size of apps just going up and up that Apple would have decided to release the base model at 32 gigabytes. They didn't do that. If you didn't have an operating system or any apps on your phone, you'd be able to record 30 minutes of 4K video. Of course, app developers that are trying to make use of that A9 processor are going to be bumping up their game sizes, and you could be looking at games from 2 to 4 gigabytes in size. Grab a couple of those and you are totally out of storage. My second major problem with the iPhone 6s is screen resolution. The iPhone 6s is rocking a 1334 by 750 screen resolution, which is less than 720p. Now, on a 4.7 inch screen, 720p is decent, but for somebody that is used to a 2K screen on like my Note 5, my Galaxy S6, I'd really expect at least a 1080p screen, which you can actually get if you jump up to the iPhone 6s Plus. Major problem number 3 is the camera. Now, before you get too mad at me, the iPhone has always been kind of top of the class with the camera. Once again, Apple has improved the camera on the iPhone. We're now looking at a 12 megapixel camera that is now capable of shooting 4K, so good on them for that. But where this camera is lacking is there is no optical image stabilization. Now, without optical image stabilization, unless you have a tripod for your iPhone, you may end up with some blurry shots. So you might have to actually take a picture 2 or 3 times to get the shot without blurriness. Now, you can get optical image stabilization if you upgrade, once again, if you upgrade to the iPhone 6s Plus, but that's optical image stabilization on your photos only and digital stabilization on your videos. Major problem number 4 with the iPhone 6s is the fact that there's no wireless charging and no fast charging. Now, I was actually really excited to watch the event, and I knew for sure, I was thinking in my mind that surely they would bring to the table at least wireless charging and fast charging. These are both features that I've come to love on Android over the past year. With a device that gets an estimated 10 hours of battery life, you would think that Apple would have had the forethought to have put fast charging in their device. When you get to about 3 or 4 in the afternoon and you're sitting at about 20% and you want to take a shower and then go out for the evening, it's really nice to throw your phone on a fast charger for about 15 minutes to juice your phone up to 50% to last you through the night. I really think that fast charging and even wireless charging would have benefited the iPhone 6s and iPhone 6s Plus. All right, guys, my 5th major problem is a little nitpicky, I do have to say, but for a company that has always been focused on design, you gotta wonder, how are they now releasing a phone that's a little thicker, a little heavier, with a little less battery? So the one benefit of the thicker, heavier device is the fact that it's no longer going to bend. That was, of course, a huge deal last year with the iPhone 6. That won't be a big deal this year with the 7000 series aluminum housing for the iPhone 6s, but you do have to live with a little bit thicker device, a little bit heavier of a device. So anyways, guys, that about wraps it up for my 5 major problems with the iPhone 6s. Will I be purchasing an iPhone 6s? Probably so. What about you guys? Are these 5 problems enough to sway you away from upgrading to the iPhone 6s if you're coming from the iPhone 6? And would you ever consider jumping ship from Android for a device like the iPhone 6s? Be sure to leave comments below to let me know your thoughts. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more content like this in the future. You can find more of me at droidforums.net. Follow me on Twitter at droidmodderx. I also do some writing for news.howonandroid.com. Of course, I have my own website, droidmodderx.com. Thanks guys for watching. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next one.